Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are finally starting season 4 of the Expanse, and I could not be more excited because season 3 ended with such a bang. Like that last episode, I got like a case of ASMR, just like head tingling when those gates opened, and I can't wait to see what they do with this because, like I think it was Holden said that there was going to be a gold rush, and everybody's going to send ships through the gate to try to make these planets livable and take those resources and use them for humanity, or take them for themselves. And we still got Miller in Holden's head taking a ride. But yeah, I'm excited to catch up with our characters, Holden, Naomi, Alex, Amos, Bobby. We barely saw Christian in the last half of season 3, so I'm curious if we'll see more of her again this time. But yeah, I'm super excited. I do know that season 4 streamed like all at once, so a lot of people just like binge through the whole thing at once, so that's really fun. But yeah, I'm excited to continue. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, we're gonna get started.
Veer off now or we will fire!
Oh, they wanted a world for themselves. The behemoth is still in here. Oh, they're all going to different... going through different rings.
You are not authorized to fire inside the ring space.
You're going to kill us! Just do it now! Or let us go! 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 Go!
Don't shoot on them, come on.
She could have taken those gravity drugs on the way.
It's not that easy. Those drugs are brutal. I wouldn't have asked you to do that for me.
It's funny because I've seen her in a different show since the last time I saw her.
Gonna be a real turd floater, huh? We gotta talk about that, right?
Right? Yeah, I know.
Next clue to the case.
Secretary General of the United Nations has summoned
You
me.
can ask her. Tell her to let you go through the ring.
I have 100 times. I'll bring it up again.
And she won't
Something
let
must have
him?
changed if she wants to talk.
We gotta talk about that, right, kid? Next clue to the case.
Heard you the first time.
We gotta talk about that, right, kid? Next clue to the case.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Props if you know that reference.
I hope now belt full Kopenga to wonder.
Oh, okay. That was agonizing.
Yes, it was.
I'll see you soon.
Whoa.
If I wanted to, I could have blown the outer door while I was in it. Killed myself.
Yep.
Was that on purpose?
If I was staring down a lifetime sentence, I'd want to have the option.
Of course.
It was kind of you to make the offer.
You breathe in, you breathe out. Eat, shit, sleep. You take whatever they give you, and you give nothing in return.
Can I bother you again sometime?
Sure thing, Peaches.
Peaches. Huh. He pauses his work right after she cuts out. I love her since her out. Where the fuck is he?
If I may,
Nancy, don't start this shit with me again.
half our population is unemployed, and we've been given the biggest opportunity to give them jobs, to give them a purpose in a century. They want to explore new worlds. We should let them. Are you going to shoot down our own citizens, or are we going to turn the situation to our advantage?
We are going to do what I goddamn said we are going to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of with this
Are you
Nancy.
familiar with the... They're calling the planet Ilus.
Illis was a brother of Ganymede.
Who gives a fuck? I didn't bring you here to teach me mythology. The planet is practically made of lithium.
And if it is, another Eros.
Evacuate the belters. Destroy the protomolecule if you can. And get the hell out of there.
Nice of Avasarala to clear up our salvage claim.
How'd she
Nice.
Fine.
look? No, I mean, like, what was she wearing?
It's good to be home. Avasarala's worried it could become worse. If Miller's right, it could be
I'm
lots
going to the surface too. There's 1,300 new systems out there, and I don't want to see them all from orbit.
Alright then, in which case...
Bobby! I thought you were going with the Rocinante. Maybe that was just, Oh! Maybe that was just their way of wrapping up the story in case they got cancelled.
We are Cajun Termin.
We are Cajun Termin.
Hey, Bobby.
Nice to see you, Flyboy.
Flyboy.
Passing through the neighborhood.
Are you going to New Terra?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
And how are you feeling about it?
You wouldn't understand.
What's that supposed to
You've been
mean?
scared of anything in your life.
Sure I have. All the time. But there's a trick. You just have to believe that what you're doing really matters.
She's a civilian now? That's not where I saw her story going. That's not gonna hold up.
He's happening, boss man.
Ooh. Oh. Shout out their engines. Damn. Ooh.
It paid well. For kill your own. For the inners, they keep builders out of the ring. So they find the gold first. Leave us with dirt.
Huh. They got a paint job. Medina Station.
What are you doing here? Is the universe about to end again?
Did you think I missed the chance to talk to you in real time? It's a good command.
On the gas station on the new frontier. I'm putting in a souvenir shop. See our business after the blockade lifts. In 2 generations, their children will be in us. They won't even remember what they were.
Everyone should have the right to decide for themselves.
Thanks for the ride.
What are we supposed to wait?
Whoa. What the heck?
Got something you want to say to me, sailor?
Can I?
Have your autograph?
Can I buy you another beer?
The problem is you've got too much time to think. It's making you crazy.
Crazy. You look like you about ready to vent some skull for looking at you the wrong way. You're not exactly the poster girl for mental health.
I didn't vent yours. Hang on to that uniform. Keep him tip-top. You can be damn sure there are plenty more wars coming.
We find out, okay, yeah? You have to trust your gut.
Well, the last time I did that, it didn't work out so well, did it?
We were all blind, Pampa.
Yeah, well, me more than you.
Only because my friend had a boyfriend with an imaginary friend who told us how to power that station down.
And I thought he was a madman. He turns out to be a prophet.
It's possible to be both.
Bet the rocks down here look just like the ones back home.
Hey, I name a new bug after you.
What the heck? Oh, is this like the residual from like Venus? When the work finished and it left Venus to... Oh, damn. He looks torn up. Oh. The Belters are helping.
The Belters will try to enlist you to their cause. Holden, do not put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already.
Good advice.
Oh, that's too funny.
Test fire lined up. Fire at will.
Test fire? Did you just destroy one of the moons? She's prepping hard. I appreciate that they have her in front, so they can go at her pace. Oh.
You not gonna let them take us from our land. This our home.
Welcome. Carol Chiwewe. I'm the administrator of the settlement.
Jim Holden.
Captain Holden. Chief Matry. Welcome to New Terra.
Good to meet you. Hey, you here for help us? I have dared.
All right. Easy there, partner.
Traitors!
Oh my god.
Traitors!
Ooh!
Everybody put your guns down now.
Oh, there is some...
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. What the heck? It's just passing through? What the heck? I love Steven Strait's face. What the heck? Is that the end of the freaking episode? Really? Oh, we got an outro. Look at that Amazon money. I'm mostly joking. Okay guys, so I took a week break and I really missed this show, honestly. It's so good. But yeah, humanity is facing another gold rush, which is super interesting and I really want to see more. And then there's this big storyline of Belters trying to still be true to themselves and their ways in this new reality. We've got Ashford's situation having to hunt down people crossing through the ring without authorization. The majority of them, or all of them right now, are Belters, and he's kind of sick of it. I thought we would start with the crew exploring worlds through the gates, but they're like orbiting Earth, they're Holden's back home, which is, I think, better storytelling, bringing us back home so that it feels like a brand new adventure going forward, reconnecting with home and getting the momentum started again, reconnecting with Christian. Like, she was only missing for half a season, but that was an entire book worth of story that she was barely in, and yeah, she just wasn't that big a part in Abaddon's Gate, so it was nice to see her again after so long. And I understand her hesitancy to send people over through the gate to the 1,300 odd inhabitable planets. She brought up the Yukon Gold Rush and how many people died. And I understand that Earth, or humanity as a whole, they don't have the infrastructure there to keep an eye on everybody, to make sure they're safe, to make sure they don't discover something horribly dangerous that could be a threat to all of humanity, to make sure that they don't discover something that could shift the power balance to Mars, to Earth, to the Belt in any particular way. Though, like, they don't have the infrastructure to take care of the people right now either, so it's a question of, like, what is the lesser evil, to let them explore and risk something bad happening, or let them starve right here, and just be miserable. Like, people, even on Earth, people are starving. The very fact that people are willing to take a huge risk to have a brand new start tells you just how desperate the system is. I mean, it's Belters, but then Nancy was saying that how long before the Earthers try to run the ring as well, which I could see that happening pretty soon as well. Belters were running the blockade, and it was a good idea to have a bunch of ships go at once because you can't shoot them all down. But yeah, the first place they've been able to successfully colonize is Illis. And yeah, in the meantime, Earthers are lining up outside the ring and getting attacked by pirates. So it's gonna be time for them to give it a try as well. But yeah, we got to catch up with a lot of characters this time. So we got to see, like, it was a time jump, so it was nice to see what is happening with a bunch of characters. The one that was missing was Anna. I'm very curious what her life is like. I'm guessing she went back home to her family, and that's why it's not that big a deal. But yeah, I hope everything's working out for her at home with her wife after she left to go into the ring without contacting her. I remember she tried to, but then she like couldn't record a good message, so she like deleted it or something, or didn't send it. We also got to see Clarissa. We got to check in with her via her call to Amos. I love Amos and his unlikely friendship so much. Last season with Anna, who we didn't see, but this time we learned about him and Clarissa, with her helping out on the way back out of the ring. Him giving her the chance to commit suicide, which seems like a very Amos thing to do. Also very Amos, making friends with someone who tried to have you and your crew killed. So yeah, he tried to look busy the entire time when she was calling, but as soon as she shut off the transmission, he stopped. And I'm trying to read into that, like I think he wanted to look like he didn't care as much as he does, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, Clarissa, she committed some heinous crimes, so I don't see her getting out anytime soon. But I like the journey she went on as a character, and I'm curious if this is the last we'll see of her. I'm guessing not, but I don't know in what way we'll see her again, if it's just another call to Amos. But regarding her and her storyline, I don't know where it goes from here. And speaking of Amos, and earlier I was talking about Christian. When Holden comes back on board, Amos asks how Christian looks. Not like that. Like, what was she wearing? And I'm not entirely sure if he just appreciates her sense of fashion, because I really do, or if he's like legitimately into her. It could be both. It could be either. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. Holden just ignores him and walks away. He's like, good to be back. We also get to see Bobby again. She's a civilian, which, like, she was on the Rocinante at the end of the last season. And I guess my theory was that they did that in case they got canceled. So in case it's over, we, the audience, think she's off with her friends exploring the edges of the universe. But because they didn't get canceled, they got renewed. They send her back on the path that she normally is in the books, probably. But she's a civilian, and that is not going to last very long. Definitely not. She's too interesting of a character to just be a civilian. Unless, I don't know, I guess they could do something very different with her, but we'll see. But yeah, Mars made her lie and then stripped her pension. Bureaucracies are the worst. And she says to that guy that people inside the ring were killing each other in order to control something they didn't even understand. And told him to keep tip-top and to hang onto that uniform because there are plenty more wars to come, which that feels exactly like what's going to happen. Yeah, but that guy is interesting because he was on the tram or the subway watching her before, and then he's watching her in that bar. So it seems like he really wanted to connect with her. I don't know if he's technically stalking her, but like, he got discharged as well. She's famous enough, and there's a lot of shared experiences here. So I guess he just wanted someone to talk to who he looked up to. I guess I can give him the benefit of the doubt for now, but I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, Bobby was working on a ship, so I'm curious, is Mars building ships to go through the ring as well? And actually, would it make sense for them to just abandon Mars and go to a livable planet? Because terraforming sounds like a huge pain, and it won't even pay off in a lot of people's lifetimes. But they already put in so much work. To abandon it would feel... It's the sunken cost fallacy, though, because like, you put it in so much work, but then there's like so many more worlds now. It would make more sense to go colonize those, but giving up what you already have here, I don't know. It's been so ingrained in their culture that for so many years, all they wanted was to build a planet for themselves to live on, and now there are 1,300. I don't know. it would make sense to pursue both avenues, I think. But that again would delay Mars's creation even longer. I'm sure there are people who would be willing to stay, and I guess it comes down to what Naomi said about the Belters, that everyone deserves a choice. So I don't know if the people on Mars have a choice, but yeah. But yeah, the Rocinante is officially legitimate salvage thanks to Christian. So they no longer have to deal with Mars trying to reclaim the ship. It's got a new paint job, looks freaking great. And they got plasma cannons? Is that what that was? Like, they test fired it on a moon or something, which seems like such a waste. Like, destroying planetary bodies just to test a weapon. To be fair, there are tons of moons out there, but still, it just feels... But yeah, Christian asked Holden to check on Ilus. Is it Ilus or Ilus? Ilus? Damn it. Ilus. Which looks like it has the remnants of protomolecule activity, and it looks like the remains are like reaching into the sky because it like comes to a point. So I'm curious if it's the same thing that was on Venus. Like it built the ring and then it sent it off the planet rather. So Naomi wants to explore Ilus as well. And she's never stepped on a planet before. And earlier she said, Holden said that he wouldn't make her go through all the drug treatments to go see his family. So yeah, it was gonna be rough. Those shots of her getting all those injections, she was like bruised all over, so it was like everywhere. That was excruciating. And it was really interesting because she has a conversation with Drummer when they're passing through the ring. Drummer talking about how Belters were foolish for thinking they could live on a planet. That also speaks to how desperate they were and how unsatisfied they were with the previous situation, that they would go through what we saw Naomi go through in order to just live a better life. And Kamina is concerned about the death of the Belter nation, though. She's kind of against all the Belters just colonizing planets because she says that all the refugees will be inners within 2 generations. And I see what she means, but like, they're striving for a better life. And I understand wanting to keep Belter culture alive, but so much of that culture is struggle, and I don't know. It's a situation where there is no right answer. You want to preserve the Belter culture, but you also want to live better lives. And the Behemoth is getting a makeover. It's been This is the second time it's been repurposed. And I'm curious to see if it'll be repurposed again. But it's pretty funny. It's like a way station. Drummer said it was a gas station and that she'd put in a souvenir shop, which is really funny. But now it's called Medina Station, which is interesting. Meanwhile, the Edward Israel sends a research ship down to Ilus, and they thought they'd mostly be dealing with like Belter inner tension. But no, there's like a barrage of what I thought was like, it's like metallic something. It's strong enough and hard enough to breach the hull. It's just bursting through their ship and ripping it apart. They said that only 23 died, though it didn't look like there were many to begin with. The leader died, and the security chief, Murtry, isn't in command and refused evacuation. Which, I mean, it feels like getting off the planet would be just as dangerous as getting onto it. And I'm glad that Rocinante didn't get chewed up. Though I don't know if they're made from the same material, but if they could have been able to circumvent getting destroyed if they came down, but well, I don't know. But yeah, Christian gives us our crew the rundown of what happened, tells them not to get involved, not to take sides, and tells Holden specifically not to put his dick in it. It's fucked enough already. Oh man, he it's unintentional that he gets involved, and I mean, he's definitely gonna get involved. There's no way that's not gonna happen. But we'll see how that all plays out. The scene where the Rocinante lands is great. Interesting choice to change the aspect ratio when we see our first footage of Ilus, though. Ilus. I keep switching between the two. And then for the rest of the episode too, whenever we're on Ilus, it's like a movie, like the movie aspect ratio. It was a little jolting, but I actually like it a lot. Because it's meant to be like a huge tonal shift, and it's made to make the setting feel wider, just like it does for Naomi. Like normally she's on a ship or looking into space, into nothing. And now she's on a planet, and everything just goes forever in every direction. So it feels kind of right that it's shot in this way. And speaking of Naomi, this was super compelling. Her first time on a planet, seeing it through her eyes, the light being too much for her at first. I love that the others let her get off first. Like, she got vertigo from looking up and seeing Sky for the first time. And Holden held off Amos from going to help her. And I'm not even sure Amos was going to help her. Like, he might have known it was important to let her do this on her own. But the whole thing was actually really emotional, and I really, really liked it. And Alex started shivering. We get the return of Alex's hat we haven't seen since very, very early season 1, I think. But yeah, they make their way into town. The administrators of the Belters welcomed Holden, and then Mercury did it too. So yeah, the RCE I think is already like trying to act like it's their like it's theirs. And it's very interesting because, like, what are even the rules? The planet belonged to no one, at least no one alive. So the first people who get there get to claim it? What if other people come and live and want to live there too? Like, will they be welcomed? What if they're inners? And this could be messy, like, especially with how aggressively Mercury wanted to be in charge. It's already a struggle. And he didn't refer to it as Illis. He referred to it as New Terra. And it's like him planting his flag all over the place. So I understand the tensions that arose between the Belters and the research team. So yeah, that's going to be interesting going forward. We'll see. Mercury's kind of like... I'm trying to think if I can curse. Yes, I can curse because they curse on the show. Mercury's kind of like swinging his dick around, trying to like be the big man, and like, yeah, we'll see what happens. We got to see Miller again, which is really interesting. Gotta talk about the ride, kid. Next clue to the case. Just over and over again. And then they pass through the ring, and he thanks Holden for the ride. And then we see Holden from Miller's point of view, which is super interesting because I don't think we've seen that before, right? It seems like we've seen what the protomolecule sees when they look at other people. That was through the eyes of Katoa, but not specifically Miller and the investigator. But yeah, it seems like he sees the neural system of Holden, and most of what he sees is blue, but it's interesting. We'll see. I like that he's essentially been hanging around in Holden's brain for almost an entire year, and Holden is just used to him now. That's really fun. But Holden, he still gets like frustrated when Miller like disappears without answering his questions. And at the end of the episode, we see what took down the science vessel, just a barrage of these clouds of dense material flying around and just shredding things. It looks like nobody died in that instance, which is very lucky because it pierced through someone's like chest the first time we saw it. And Holden holds like a piece of it, and it just like twists in his hand. That feels protomolecule like, in that it feels like it has an intelligence. And I'm curious if it actually is similar to something on Venus. If similar is happening on Venus. Anyway, guys, really enjoyed this first episode. Looking forward to doing more. If you want to watch the full reaction, or you want to see episodes a week early, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.